This is a Matos Designs production.
And I am not done! Mark my
I like your line. I like your prices. There's a problem. There's no guarantee on the box.
You can't hang out with chickens and expect to soar with eagles.
Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
An electrician got your light worker.
And now your hosts,
JR and Brian.
Oh, we can handle it. We're professionals.
What is up, Brian? We're
What's going on, man?
with a real episode here.
Yeah.
We got to thank Carl for making us a bad intro. That thing is awesome.
Brand spanking new. I missed it because I was responding to a message, so I'll have to watch it later.
Boy,
Oh, I'm going to have to turn this down.
I sent him to him earlier to watch it. He didn't watch it, and then he just didn't watch it now.
You know what? My free time is from 6:15 in the morning until 10 o'clock my time. So I got to take care of all my stuff before I clock in from work to work. So, and then I forgot when you sent it to me because I didn't want to watch it while I was at the clinic. So
On our
how's my
episode,
beard?
I said I would fix me having to look at Brian to the right or my left, whatever. I didn't have time. I forgot my kids are off school this week, so yesterday was a lot. So, and they're at my parents' house right now. So we're good. We're not going to be interrupted. Couple things. The intro, Carl killed it. I love it. He added in a bunch of videos from like special projects we did this year, which I thought was cool. And some of the past projects that I did, there's some things that you could see, but we can't tell you what we did. But you saw a video of it, but that's it. So that was cool. I got to thank, I think I'm going to call him the official, like, librarian for the Great Christmas Light Fight, Brian Michaels. Because look at this flat bill light fight hat. Look at that, Brian.
Does it say contender? Where?
No, it just says the Great Christmas Light Fight. It doesn't like put out that I'm a loser straight out. I should have it fixed on the back. It should just say loser. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with being the loser of the Great Christmas Light Fight. So this is our comeback episode, and we're going to go over our display. And then if anybody has questions and stuff like that, go ahead and ask them. And we'll go through all the stuff on the display, kind of some of the prototypes that I have out in my stuff and stuff like that. And then Brian could tell me all the stuff I do wrong in my display. So, we'll cover that. You haven't had a chance to watch this either, huh?
I did watch your walkthrough. I got like 43 seconds left, so I saw a majority of it.
Okay, good. Because I don't remember what I recorded on it. So
You didn't watch it either?
no, I just made we're just gonna blind react to this right now.
Well, if we were actually prepared, it would like throw everybody off because they'll be like, dang, they got their stuff together and we ain't got our shit together.
We wouldn't be triers anymore. So
by the seat of our pants, man.
that's how we roll. So we're gonna go into the video. I'm gonna stop it periodically and we could talk about it. I think we could talk why it's going also. So
We're talking through it.
So
It's there.
Here we
And the kids ran.
So this is it.
So this is the prototype cube system for the Kraken Flex. This will turn your regular Kraken Flex into a cube. This is the prototype. I didn't powder coat it, so it's all nice and fancy rusted. And this is abused because the snow machine was there and the kids ran into it, and it's held up pretty good. There's a couple loose ones, but I think that's because the plate is not tensioned properly all over the place. But yeah, so that's is the cube prototype. And like everything we do, we test it before we sell it. So we're going to do some adjustments to this to fix some of the issues I had once people were screwing with it. and then we'll release it better and powder coated.
So this I'm really excited about in my display. It looked cool.
It does. I do have a question though, and nobody else has commented in yet, but that's 1/4-inch steel that you're using for the top plate.
It's 3/16.
Are you gonna go to aluminum for it since you don't have hardly any weight with the Kraken Flex?
I thought about it. The reason I'm using the metal plate is because of the leverage it has, because it's going, what are we, 8 feet? So it's going 16 inches out.
Okay.
Because they're 2 inches apart. It's still prototype. I still got some things I want to work out on it. I want to make it better. The way it's designed now, it will go on a Sasquatch pole or one of our tilt-up tree poles, and then you could U-bolt it onto that.
Nice.
Or anything. You could buy round U-bolts and U-bolt it onto a round pole. So it's designed to be able to do anything. And the reason that I'm doing it with Kraken is, like, the way we came out with the Kraken is so it's versatile and can be used for lots of things. So what I'm thinking is, like, with mine, they were 25 count. Well, for Halloween, I had 2 of these columns. A car decided to modify the other column so Christmas I only had one off the other one, and I made them into mini trees. But the idea with all the Kraken Flex is to be able to use it for multiple things. So maybe for Halloween you make your mini trees columns and do fire effect and all this stuff, and then you turn them into trees on the same pole and everything. That's why it bolts on to either your tilt up or your Sasquatch and stuff like that. It's kind of where we're going with the design. It's super easy. It just got holes in it, and the cable comes up. And I was using 2 carabiners per light strand just to hold them up top. And I did the bottom. This one, it wasn't really tensioned properly because it is not a one-person project. You're going to have a couple people to build these, just because you got to, like, pull up on the plate and then tighten the U-bolts. I tried to do it as a one-person project, and it wasn't perfect. And I put the snow machine blowing onto it and the Evos there just for some testing, because I know Walter Monkhouse had some problem with Evos the first year because they were a matrix on the ground and the snow machine was just piling up the fluid on him. And we were trying to figure out what was going on. So I was blasting my snow machine into our Kraken and Evos, see if I could recreate what he was having, which I was not. So I don't know if it's the snow juice he was using or if it was just the first gen Evos, so we're still trying to figure that out. But like everything, I'm testing and basically trying to destroy shit in my display. So yeah, I put it right there by the snow, and kids were hands in there. Like, some of them are loose because of that, and it's not the cable stretched or anything like that. It's my plate wasn't tight enough, and it's not straight. Like, you could see it in the shot right now. It's not level. So, but yeah, I was putting it there for abuse. So we're trying to do everything.
Oh,
so on with the video, Brian. Anything else?
Yeah, go.
So he's making faces, so I must have did something wrong. So here's Evos in a nice Boscoyo prop. The Decor one. All fancy Evo'd. And then what else we got? Oh, we got the neon arches. We did them all up on both sides of the driveway. And then Boscoyo Decor candy canes. And then
I was surprised with the snow machine being right there and the kids basically plowing over my neon arches because they love to play in the snow machine and get the foam all over them and stuff.
Yeah.
I had no problems. Like, I was worried because it's just a pop metal stake that they're screwed into with one little Ellen. I was like, somebody's going to hit this thing and it's going to break off.
Snap, yeah.
And most of the time, if something happened, it just pulled it out of the ground because they stepped on a cord and ripped stuff out. Nothing broke. So I was very impressed with that. I liked it. I was happy that we didn't pull a screw out of the pot metal stake or anything like that. So they worked out.
If you knew anybody that lived up in the north, like where it's like negative 12 degrees, you could always weather test it with them if you needed to do that. So
Take neon arches from Transworld?
I didn't take anything home, no.
I thought
I don't have anything here other than the pallet of stuff that you sent last year.
pallet of stuff.
Yeah, there was a lot there, but no, it all went back with somebody else.
Okay. All right. I'll make sure Brian gets something.
We did some Escoyo 3D trees, custom made for the Evos. Instead of putting the pixels in sideways, you put Evos. You can see them from both sides. Worked out pretty cool.
I don't know if James is going to be okay with me sharing that. The 3D trees that I had him make for Evos.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that if those had Evos in it.
Escoyo 3D trees, custom made for the Evos. Instead of putting the pixels in sideways, you put Evos. You can see them from both sides. Worked out pretty cool.
Yes.
The other thing is
the 12 millimeter went in. You know how it had that like C channel thing and the pixel came into it?
Mm-hmm.
Just did regular pixel holes. And because you could see the Evo from both sides, it was easy,
Nice.
So you're kind of seeing those, they're just regular Evos in them.
Big Daddy Sasquatch tree. I think that's what we're going to call it. That is the prototype. We are fine-tuning some things before we release it on the website. But yeah, it is giant. And we've had some crazy 60, 70 mile an hour winds, and it doesn't move. So Cecilia was worried about having a tree this big, but it is the safest, biggest tree we've ever had in this location. So she's okay with it. So that's that. We have.
Cecilia gave the thumbs up. One thing I want to point out. I thought I had my bigger aluminum base. Like I thought I had my 16-foot one. And then I go to bolt it together and it's only an 8-foot one. So I like stretched it out and stuff and made it kind of work. But that tree it will come with a bigger 16-foot base and it will have it. But that is the prototype. Like, this is proof. Like, we test and use everything before we sell it to somebody because I want to make sure what I'm selling to you is rock solid and awesome. You got anything about that, Brian?
What was the height on that, Big Daddy?
39.5 feet tall.
Nice.
Are you taking notes to answer people's questions?
No, I'm answering Ace.
Oh, nice.
No. I know. This keyboard I just got is very loud. It's old school sound.
And then we got Cecilia's thumbs up on it. Didn't move.
She was worried about it.
So after last year, we had a 29-foot tree, and it swayed around. It was our aluminum truss tree, and it swayed around a little bit. And I didn't like it. It's still a really good tree. I sent it to Brian to use, but it wasn't good enough. Like my name's on everything we put out. Like it wasn't the best it could be. It moved around too much. It scared Cecilia. It never fell. It never did anything. It stayed up, but it just had too much movement in it. And it scared Cecilia being right next to the house and our cars in the driveway and stuff like that. So I went on a task to building a tree that it does not move. It's solid as a rock. So we'll have that on the site soon. We're just finalizing a couple things to make it perfect,
Have the RGB decor light balls. We did those on the peaks there. We put Kraken Flex inside of the Home Depot snowflakes so they light up. Candy cane, yeah. sorry, I was thinking RGB Decor Snowflake. This is the 24-inch one. We used it here. We tied in after the Kraken Flex. And then we got custom 3D Coro from Boscoyo, our Merry Christmas, and then the bells.
Which the Merry Christmas is now available on Boscoyo's website. That I've been running that for a couple years now, and when people see it, they're always like, I want it. Well, the problem, so there's a lot of custom Coro things I come up with that, as James say, is not easy to ship. So it's hard when there's certain things in my display to be like, oh, I want that too. Well, you'll probably have to pay for a pallet to be shipped to your house. And so, like, I do a lot of props for projects and stuff like that. And so I come up with giant stuff for my house, and then James ships it with my other stuff. So this Merry Christmas has always been kind of hard to get because it's a couple sheets. It's huge. But he's made a now shippable version that you can now get from his website that looks exactly the same. It's just a little bit sized differently. And it's pretty cool.
It does have a new model to it. It didn't follow the same model path as this one or the same wiring path.
So, but it looks awesome. I love it. We do a Happy Halloween one in the same spot for Halloween. We just swap them out.
And then we put some of the snowflakes in there too. This is the 37 count Kraken Flex. Our garage door kit, which we'll be releasing soon. I tested it this year. I got a few things I want to fine tune before I release it to everybody. And of course, every time I do a video outside in front of my house, the neighbor either blows or now trimming her yard. So hopefully the audio is not that bad. But it's
which surprisingly, it was so freaking loud. I thought my video was ruined.
Yeah, no, I couldn't hear it at all when I was watching it earlier.
Just complaining for no reason. It's
if you wouldn't have said nothing, nobody would have ever known.
Nobody would have known. So we're still working on the Garage Matrix. It's good enough, and I'm sure I could release it and people would be plenty happy. It goes up and down with your garage. It keeps tension all the time. It's just not perfect. And we're not going to release it until it's perfect because I just want people to be 100% happy and do everything that I want it to do. So once we dial it in, you could buy the 37 count strands now and come up with your own way to hang it on your garage. We sell them now. But we'll have our bracketry that is pretty innovative, I think, and pretty cool on how it works. And it should be perfect by the time we release it because I still have that matrix on my garage and I'm still doing things to dial it in, and I'm going to test the crap out of it before we release it on the website. So yeah, Cecilia's not necessarily happy. Everything's down on our house and we have a matrix on our garage door. So, but I got to make sure it's right, you know?
every single time. Cecilia thinks it's hilarious. And then, so here we are with the neon arches again. Those are the small ones, the 3-pack. You get 3 of them in a case. And then this is the neon pathway arch. This one is not the production one. We're missing some brackets here. This is how I got one for my house. Is we had one without all the brackets. So I made up some temporary brackets to make it work at my house. But it's a little more sturdy in the production one. I just made it work. What else?
So yeah, my pathway arch was a huge hit. People love that thing. The production one, it has overlapping C channel brackets that go on the joints, and somehow they fell out of a box and we got a return, I believe, of them not having the right stuff. And I decided just to get some aluminum and make some brackets and bolt it together, and was like, oh, it's good. It was okay. It definitely needs those C channel brackets to be more rigid, because you know, it had a little bit of flex in it with just the aluminum. You could kind of see the aluminum there just on the backside, just bolted on. So we, yeah, the real pathway arch I'm really happy with. It's cool. The cool thing too is you could take where it bolts together and put longer screws in with our hardware and run like conduit or something if you did multiples and build yourself a tunnel and keep the gap perfectly. So I like it. It's cool. I'm going to probably order some more so I can have some for my house, like a whole little like tunnel. It was cool. I like it. Are you just making a shopping list, Brian, of stuff you need for your house?
No, I can't use that out here. I don't want people in my yard.
Oh. Can they even get out of their car?
What's
we
that?
have Kraken.
I said, could they even get out of your car? It's
No,
too-
they don't.
right? So now we're going on to other uses for the Kraken Rigid.
We did this is the 1/2 meter ones with our new ground stakes. So the ground stakes will pop in and out. Again, these are all prototype ones. The production ones won't get all rusty like that. That's things we learn by using the stuff at our house, and then we make the ones that we sell to you better. So yeah, then we got the 4-foot mini trees with the Kraken Flex on them. So we did these with Kraken Flex. We did the Coro Star on top with the Evos, so you could see them from both sides.
So yeah, that's the same Kraken Flex I did on the Cube. We did on the mini trees. So trying to be super versatile with it.
Did 3 of those. And then we did the Home Depot light bulbs. But I took a piece of a Singing Face Coroplastic and I shoved it against the front bulb with a piece of PVC pipe. So it like molded it there so you could actually see the singing faces. Every other one had a singing face. The other ones just had a rigid Kraken in it. So you could do that level color like you can with the stakes out there.
I was actually surprised how good that turned out.
Oh, yeah.
I did. We put the Evos in 4 mil Coro of a singing face and then put a piece of PVC pipe in there with caps on it. So they were rounded so we didn't try to poke out the plastic and just jam that Coro against the base of the bulb. And it was clear Coro. So it had a rigid stake inside of it. So when you did that effect, it did the same thing. But then when it sang, so it was pretty cool. It worked pretty good in the sequences. We'll play a sequence hopefully after this. I think, I don't know. I'll try to figure it out.
And then that is our real tree. I'm coming up with a name for it. I haven't yet. But it has a shit ton of Evos on that thing. And it looks amazing if you watch my videos. It is probably one of the coolest props. And it's the prop everybody who came here was like, that is so awesome. I want one of those for my house. Like, I'm thinking about moving it back and keeping it up all year long. Because it just looks cool. And we made a few of those for a zoo somewhere. And Cecilia thought it was so cool, so we made one for ourselves. And it is awesome. Again, we're fine-tuning it, and we will release it on the website soon.
So with that, it's got so many lights on it. It's got a 16-port controller for it. Like, it has to have the 16-port controller to run it. I'm thinking of releasing it like that on the website, but then also a lighter version because it looks cool with all the lights, but it also doesn't need all the lights.
Mm-hmm.
You know? But I thought it was cool. The zoo that we put them at, thought it was cool. Not sure if I could say or not, so I'm not going to say. It's more of like a protect the magic type thing where we can't say we did it. We could hint at it and like show you what we made, but we can't say we did it or where we did it and stuff like that. And I forget on who we could talk about and who we can't. So
yeah,
those trees were cool. It was a huge hit. like every single person that came to the house when I was outside was like, that tree is amazing. And it looks cool. I'll try to get a video up here of it, but it was good. Let's see what else I talk about. Do you know what's next, Brian?
I don't remember what was next. Hey, how did you do the model for that tree?
It's like so Michael Stoffergen made it, the model, because he did all the sequencing for that project. It's not super accurate, if that makes sense. You can't, because the fact that the limbs are all like, you can maneuver them how you want. Like, you can kind of see in the shot how some of them are curved up and stuff like that. Like, we know exactly how many lights are on per limb, and we have the limb drawn out in X-Lights. And then there's all the limbs, and then they're stacked on top of each other. But the placement's a little iffy, but it looks cool if you do the right effects on it. You know what I mean? It's not a matrix. It's not going to show images and stuff. It's just going to be a badass, real-looking tree. Because you can maneuver the limbs once you get it up to give it that real tree look,
Nice.
So it's just a really cool light prop, not necessarily something you could super sequence. Like, it has a lot of sequencing capabilities, and I'm sure you could go out there and play with it with your bars and get it perfect. But the model is not perfect out of the box. Like, you have to play with it a little bit, but it's not meant to be that way. It's not like, no matter what you do with it, it's just going to be badass because it's just huge and cool and stuff like that. That answer your question?
Cool. Yep.
And then our feed trough, which has our water pumps in it. And that has 6 pumps in it. And that does the World of Color-ish look. And it was a huge hit. And it was awesome. The best thing we did with ours, because you got to keep a minimum amount of water in there, is we put a float. And then we put it with a timer, a smart timer for the irrigation. So I turned on my smart timer before the show started, the float, made sure the water was filled up all the way. And then we always had enough water for when it splashed out. And maybe 6 heads in that size tote or that size trough is not really the best thing because we lost a lot of water, but we're learning. So probably do less heads than that. Cool thing about these is you could do the pump heads because they're basically modular. Is I'm going to probably next year put like 4 of them here and then 1 in like a tote over there and like 1 on the other side. So you could have it spread out throughout the house and not just in one spot. So that's the plan for next year with those. And then, we're doing the gardening again. My street is so quiet all the time. And then when I do videos, it's like this. So this is the medium neon arch.
So I guess I should talk about the water pumps just a little bit. It's hard. I don't want to give out too much info because I don't want the Me Too thing. Like, that's the hardest thing I have. Like, we try to be innovative and come up with new stuff and spend, like, those water pumps at my house were probably the most expensive water pumps anybody would have because, like, we got them in, like, we got one in, we made all the modifications we needed to it, custom made parts, all this stuff. And then we sent it and been like, okay, make it like this. Right. And then we got all of them. And then it still wasn't perfect. So then we made a bunch of modifications and stuff for the production ones. Like, there's a lot of R&D, a lot of money, a lot of custom, like, machine parts. Like, us machining a one-off part is like super expensive from us machining like 37,000 parts. You know what I mean? So, like, every prototype is a money pit. And we try to do that, but then it's hard. Like, we spend all this money R&D and all this stuff, and then somebody buys it, sends it to China and be like, I want this too. And that sucks. So with these, we're trying to be a little more hush because there's a lot of R&D in making this something you could have at your home. This is pretty damn close to the same tech Disney's using at the World of Color, just made in a homeowner version. You know, we've done a lot of work to get these to be useful. And we just don't want somebody to immediately start selling them, even maybe cheaper, because they didn't do the same stuff we did to make it a quality product. Like there's stuff inside the motor, there's impellers that we pick, and like there's a lot involved in making that thing where a copy of it might not be the same thing. And then people are like, oh, I got the thing like Matos has, but it's not mine and it's not the same, you know? So we're not showing a lot of these. Like maybe when people get them, they'll show them, but like there's a lot of R&D and they're freaking awesome. They were like, they weren't on every song. So like I would watch people show up and be like, this is awesome. And then the water would go off and they'd be like, holy crap.
Next level. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll have to test them at your house, Brian, maybe with a little antifreeze.
I've tried to find some biodegradable stuff and throw that in there. That might work, but yeah, I'd have to check it constantly for the splashing out and stuff.
Yeah. Or just a bigger trough. That
True.
was fine. Like putting 6 of them in that size was not good, because what I didn't take account for is like, if we got a little bit of wind, like it didn't blow out of it, but like it still landed back in the tote, but then you lost a lot of it.
Sure.
Like
Yeah.
water's a new thing to play with. So I needed a newer tote. I got some pointers too. Like, I guess if I put a screen over the trough, you would lose the splash out, because I think that was also a thing when the water would come in hard, water would splash out.
Mm-hmm.
We put like a screen over it and just had the nozzles come out. When it came back in, it wouldn't splash out.
Right.
So learning, and I'm sure my customers will all figure out things that are better ways to help work that on the splash out.
And we'll hear about it too. Because I mean, we take all the feedback we get on everything we take into account. So
All right, back to more neon arches. I really love the neon arches. Like I like the look of them and everything. They look like PEX. They're cool. They're easy. They're easy to store. They're ready to run.
Right here. We have them down the side right here. And then we got our regular, just our C9s doing our pathway. And then we have a good old 16-foot Sasquatch with one of the RGB Decor light balls on top. Then we have more light balls, more snowflakes up top. We did the Kraken structural for our window frames. If you notice in some of my videos, I may come up with this stuff and I may do this stuff, and I've been doing it for a lot of years, but I still make mistakes. So I was building my Kraken structural, and I know how to do it. Like I need the backer thing and then a washer and then pull it forward. Well, I was in a hurry to finish these, and the backers that you order off Amazon for the T-slot have set screws. And I was like, screw it. And I buried the set screws in them. Well, I broke the wire on my Evos. So if you notice in my videos, that reef doesn't light up, and half of the window frame doesn't light up because I buried a set screw into it. And I haven't had time to fix it. So, yeah, don't do that. It's a horrible mistake. And then don't hang something from this where you join.
Yeah. So I'm just like everybody else. I make mistakes, and I spent a good amount of time building that window frame, right? It's a custom color. We're trying black to see how it fades and stuff like that. People ask for it, and I have black trim, so I'm like, well, hell, I'll try it on my house, you know? And I screwed up, and I had no time during the season to fix it. So it ran broken. Nobody noticed except for light show people that came over. So nobody else noticed, you know, like none of the regular audience never noticed it. Nobody ever called it out in my videos. They just maybe thought it was the sequencing, even light show people, or they were just being nice and not pointing out my screw ups. But mistakes happen. Everybody makes them. It'll be all right. So, but yeah, it was a mistake. And I also hung that I was like, oh, I'm just going to hang it from the Kraken structural. Well, I hung it on the joint, so it bent. So it wasn't the best thing because I jointed it wrong too with just the metal sleeve and the set screws, so it wasn't tight and it wasn't right, and I double whammy screwed up. Brian knows how I operate.
It happens.
2 of them together with just using set screws because it's not strong enough and you'll get a little bow in it. So make sure you pick the right T-slots hardware and do it the right way and not rush it because you screw stuff up like I did. And then we got more RGB Decor snowflakes, Boscoyo snowflakes with the Quoro. And I think that's it. We got the RGB trim. We have some new stuff. You might have seen white boxes around. We have some, we'll call them D4 light Dragon receivers. They're not smart. They're just brainless, easy Dragon receivers. And then a quad going by too. It's great.
Didn't even hear it.
Did you see it?
It's like
Yeah,
when I
saw
go
it.
set up to film my light show when nobody's here in the middle of the night and then everybody shows up and drive by. So this is what happens. And then the rest of the house, you could see in the videos, we run in all the snowflakes RGB Decor. We're running the 12-inch, the 24, and the 36-inch ones. And that is kind of the behind-the-scenes look of my display. And then here comes the neighbor back on the ATV. Well, he's waving, so I'm waving. So yeah, that's everything. Yeah, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask me. But that's just kind of behind-the-scene look of the house.
So that's the house. That's the display. You got anything, Brian?
Check your messages real quick. I sent you one. I didn't know if you had them up or not because they weren't in.
Oh, I didn't talk about them, huh? But the
No.
Phoenix Rays were on the roof. They're in all my videos. We're using the Phoenix Ray Maxes. I'm surprised I didn't talk about it. I think it's because I can't see them from the ground because I have them set back so far on my peak.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're rocking Phoenix Ray Maxes on the roof. We have 8 of them. They look pretty awesome in the video. Most of the videos, they look great. They have all 8 working. Some of the videos towards the end of the season, I did an update to my layout because I changed something, added something, and somehow I changed the channel or something in the model to one of the heads, and it didn't turn the light bulb on anymore. And I was like, oh, maybe I burnt out a light bulb, right? And I go on the roof with the new light bulb and I change it and it does the same thing. And then I changed the channel to the other head and it works fine. And then I never fixed X lights and kept filming because I got time for that. So I went and checked and the head had nothing wrong with it. But, we did have, like the truth about everything. We had one customer have his bulb go dead on him. And we sent him a replacement because it was within the warranty and it was super easy to change. And it was good to go. So when mine did that, I was like, oh, maybe I had one too, but it wasn't. It was just, computer errors, users. So, that's how it works. Stuff like that. We're all figuring it out. Brian didn't do a display this year.
I did not. I was dark.
I'm not a fan of Brian doing that, but
I know.
he's too far away for me to go help him.
It was, I was going to send the regular invite link off the page.
That's the right one.
Is that the right one?
I believe so.
Okay.
But we're going to, yeah.
This year was, go ahead.
Nope, go for it.
I was just going to say, this year was rough. I mean, I had beautiful weather out there, but it just a matter of getting out to do it. I had so much to do that I wanted to change, and it just, I I told a couple customers that I was waiting for something to come in the mail, and it was motivation, and it never showed up. It's just hard to get out there to do
What was
it.
supposed to come in the mail?
Motivation.
Oh, not the big ass plate I sent you. That wasn't motivation.
That was motivation.
But early, I guess you ran out.
I started pulling it all apart and looking. Oh, the lights weren't there. I know. That's a conversation for another time. They weren't in the totes. So, but you know, it's tough because doing it every day and dealing with customers every day, sometimes it gets a little hectic to, you know, at the end of the day, I just kind of want to not do anything. But it's all my fault. And I had beautiful weather. I could have been out there, but I'm going to get started earlier this year. I want to get some stuff concreted into the ground. So, but I'll definitely be having a show.
Good. So speaking about dealing with customers, we're going to bring on Rochelle, who has done a great job dealing with fun customers, because not every customer is the greatest person in the world. And we've had some fun people, and some of the fun people, you know, it might have been my fault. Oh, there's a good chance it was my fault that they got so fun because I screwed something up. So, but Rochelle had to deal with it. So we're going to add Rochelle in here, and we're going to ask her some questions. We're kind of doing the normal thing, but we're going to skip a lot of light show questions because they do a light show at their house, but I'm not sure Rochelle knows everything that they have. So here comes Rochelle.
Hey,
What's
guys.
up?
Hey, can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yep.
So this is Rochelle. She is our customer service answerer, and she gets most of your questions first. And she also gets when people yell at you, and that's not really cool. And been times where I'm like, what? Let me call them. And then they don't let me, because that's why I don't do customer service.
Yeah, no.
It's
I'm not
all-
But no, she is definitely the saving grace. And I think actually some of my color other than gray is coming back into my beard because she helps me out so much. And you know, every customer thinks that they're the only customer that we have, and we have over 10,000 customers. And from when did it start? Even July this year, I think the emails just started skyrocketing, you know, one thing after another, and she has saved my sanity 100%. So
I tried.
Yeah, I didn't help it with things.
Hey, we're all just trying our best over here.
sometimes we got to make that decision. Well, if JR don't like it, he can fire me. So I'm like, just do it, Rochelle. Just get it done.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been fun. So we're gonna, I don't know if Brian sent you what our normal questions are, if he's just making you fly out of the seat of your pants here.
Oh, look, come in there. I just brought him up on
You
my
didn't send me
screen, but I
anything.
haven't sent her nothing.
Great.
Thanks, Brian.
You are welcome.
This is how we normally work. So Rochelle, would you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Let's see. I mean, we've been friends for probably about what, 15 years, maybe more, longer, 20?
Longer than that.
Yeah,
I've been
oh
out
my
of high
God.
school for 20 years.
Yeah, it's crazy. I am married to one of your best friends, Andrew. We have 4 kids, and I used to be a store manager at Starbucks for 7 years, and it got a little crazy, and that's why I'm here now to deal with this crazy.
What crazy's better? Starbucks people or Christmas light people?
Oh God, Christmas light people are way better.
Really?
Way better than those coffee fiends, let me tell you.
Look at that. Don't get like them though, please. Don't
Yeah.
get coffee fiends to
No coffee fiends,
customer
please.
service people. So I know you guys do Halloween bigger than Christmas.
Yeah.
But you guys do have a mega tree, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I think you have a Sasquatch tree and then you have RGB trim and some spiral trees.
Yep. Love those spiral trees.
Yeah.
They're
I kind of know what her display is.
What you send them home with?
Yeah.
yeah. What else do we have? Oh, we have some Biscoyo, like the snowflakes.
Yeah.
Those are
Yeah,
really
you
nice.
get pumpkins too, don't you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they're not as invested as most of the people listening to this are, but they have a light show, so they do understand what's going on.
Oh, yeah.
Like she said, Andy is one of my best friends. We were friends since high school. We do a lot of stuff. Andy helps us out too, on and off, when I could afford him, because he's really good, which means sometimes I can't afford him. But yeah, and then they get they're one of the houses that try a lot of stuff, so they get new stuff all the time. And not that Andy and Rochelle aren't capable, but they're kind of like my regular homeowner tester.
Yeah.
So they don't know a huge amount about light shows, but they're learning. So they get some of our newest controllers and our newest things, and I'm like, here is our normal directions. Can you guys put it up? And so far, everything's been good. So it's a good tester.
Yeah.
Ryan would get a lot more testing things too if he could just pick them up from my house.
Yeah, just come over.
Give him a pallet,
You didn't need to take a drive over there.
a drive,
Drive.
a trailer.
Yeah, I got to load up the Tahoe.
Yeah.
I put up the tree this year with Andy, so it was pretty easy actually. I mean, a little heavy, but I think I could have still done it even if he wasn't there.
Nice.
You know, as women, we have strength when the hubbies aren't around.
Yeah, I watched that TikTok video of a girl like moving all this boxes of furniture in, and then needed help moving an ice chest or something.
Totally true.
That's
We'll
super
move the whole house without you here.
Yes, I've come home to that. I don't know, Brian. We got any more questions for Rochelle?
Well, I was just going to ask her about what's your favorite type of email to get? The ones I can send to Brian.
Yeah, those are my favorite actually. My favorite, I don't know, just when people are nice and understand that, you know, we're dealing with other people too. Just patience, because we're all trying our best. So we definitely don't forget about anybody, but it might take us some time sometimes to get to them.
No, they trust me. I'd be out of business if it wasn't for Rochelle and Brian, because they help a lot. We get so many. I don't think people understand that. Like on a Monday during business season, how many emails do we get on a Monday? Like after the whole weekend.
Oh, after the weekend, we'd walk into sometimes 80 plus emails.
Yeah.
From like Friday evening to Monday morning, easy, like 80.
Yeah, and I know there's people gonna be like, I get thousands of emails a day, but like these are all emails that need pretty detailed response.
Yeah, and they need a little research and stuff like that.
Yeah, so you almost have to triple it, because there's many times that we have to respond back and forth just to get the correct information from just one email.
Yeah. And we're working on things too to be like to help people send all the right information on the first shot.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll get that section of the website done, and we won't have so many back and forth before we could resolve something for somebody. Hopefully we get it, you know, like we get bad pixels. actually, we didn't get any bad pixel 12 millimeter nodes from this year. We've had some past ones we're still dealing with and stuff like that. Like it was bad manufacturing error. So yes, we're still going to take care of those. But like we get some bad Evos because there's a lot of Evos in the world, a lot. So we get I think we're mathematically 3% failure rate, which I think is still outstanding for a new product.
That sounds fair. Yeah.
But we get a lot of emails of like, my Evos don't work. And like, if you just send like, hey, I have this problem with the Evos, here's a video on a tester or a receiver in test mode, so there's no X-Lights interference. Because that's sometimes we've had customers be like, oh, this ain't working, and then be like, oh, it was X-Lights. So the easiest way is put it on a tester, make a video, send that video, even maybe do a little commentary in the video of what's going on. And then once we get that, like, we'll put your order in to send you replacements. Like, it's simple. So if you just do that in your first shot, you're going to save like probably 4 back and forth emails. And you're going to get so much more faster service. So that's our biggest thing, is just streamlining that and making sure people are sending the right information.
A lot of times, if I'm not getting what I'm looking for in the email, I'll just give them a call. So if you ever get a number for, a call from 406, that's me, because it's easier and quicker to discuss it, in a 5-minute phone call and get the order made so we can get replacements sent out versus going back and forth, because emails get lost. I mean, especially in the busy season,
they don't get lost. They get shuffled.
They get shuffled. And if we don't mark it right, it could go to the bottom of the list, but we're waiting for a response. So we're catching up with new ones and still trying to take care of the old ones at the same time. So, but yeah, shuffled is a lot better word, actually. But
the only thing that gets lost is if you text message or instant message me, that gets lost.
For sure.
Because I get so many instant messages. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And the thing is, too, is like, it's not that I'm like ignoring them or I'm getting them an abundance amount. Like, I'm getting a lot of instant messages directly to my Facebook. And a lot of it is, I don't know. I feel like sometimes I get put on like a spam list and I get hundreds of messages from people from other countries in one day, and not even like China where I order stuff from, just other random countries just asking questions.
Yeah.
And there was one day during busy season, I had 200 instant messages and 199 of them were just spam. So that's always fun. I don't know who I made that mad to want to do that to me, but it is great. So Bernie just tried to call me. Maybe I should invite him in here too. No, I'm just playing.
Surprise.
We're almost done.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else we should ask Rochelle, or you guys should help straighten out with our customers, make things easier?
I mean, I think that's perfect. Just about, if they have an issue with any of their strands, like the videos that they send in, when they do that, that is, I should have said, those are my favorite emails back, is when they have all that info. But I know not everybody knows, to do that, but it is really nice when that is already there for me.
Yeah. And the thing is too, is like, yeah, it's sometimes a pain in the ass to put a tester on a thing and stuff. Like, I know I do lights, but like that, we just need that because we also have to share it with my factory, because I want credit for the bad lights, and I need that proof for them to be, and also if there's a problem, then we have a video reoccurring problems, so we could try to take care of stuff. So the video is super important. I know it's inconvenient and super sorry about that. We do with the 12 millimeter nodes, they're they're our standard. Like we've done them for years. I know everything that's wrong with those.
Mhm.
And if you get those pixels and have a bad strand, we're going to give you a $10 gift card for your time. Right? Just because I understand the fight with pixels. And if we have to warranty them, you're going to get a $10 gift card.
Mm-hmm.
We're not quite to that point with Evos. Like it's a quality product. We sell a ton of them. It's just, it's still so new.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have that history, and I can't, like, when it's your 100% own design, it's a lot harder to hold leverage over your factory, even if it's your own factory, because they still, you know, they're going to take a loss to have to remake it.
Mm-hmm.
It's still harder for them to be like, yes, I put a $10 guarantee on all these. You know what I mean? Where with our nodes, I have that all the way back to the factory, and if I have to replace them, like we're getting a $10 credit, so you're getting a $10 store credit.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how we have that. We don't have that negotiated into the Evos yet because it's 100% our design, so they don't have. I can't get mad at them about things as long as they make them exactly like we say. And most of the time, everything's made exactly right, and we're having things, but we're just the components is what's going wrong. So, and it's because we're getting so many, and there's just a fail rate on certain components.
Mm-hmm.
And it happens to be that certain customers are getting those ones, you know. But it's still overall 3%. I think is a great. Like I'm happy with that. I'm super happy with that. That's better than previous Pixel years until we made some drastic changes. You know.
Oh yeah.
And you always make it right, which is, you know, me as a customer knowing that it's warranted and, you know, I'm going to be able to either fix it by somebody helping me or get a new one if it's not fixable. I think that's great. 100% guaranteed.
Take care of people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's important.
And like my whole video of me testing all this stuff, like I ain't going to sell you anything that I haven't used. So
yeah. Yep.
That's the big thing. Maybe Brian hasn't used it, but I've used it. I got to I feel bad now.
I'll bring the trailer with the Tahoe.
Yeah,
we'll get it loaded up. I can build some walls for it.
Yeah, I'm feeling bad, but I'm like, Brian probably has 5 years of stuff though. Because I do just send him shit randomly.
I do have. I gotta give my garage an enema. Probably a bad choice of words. I gotta really clean my garage out. It's a disaster.
Brian saying Kansas City stuff.
Yep.
Oh, that'll be all back here. So we'll get all that done.
I have a Christmas themed and things people send me wall, and Brian's just gonna have a Kansas City wall.
Yeah. Yeah, I do. I get random stuff. I got a nutcracker from Carl. Thank you very much. That just showed up one day, and it's awesome. So
random stuff's fun. Like this big thing. I still don't know who bought it for me, but I found the website it came from, and thank you because it's very expensive.
Oh wow,
that's like almost a $400 piece of art.
Wow,
dang!
I don't know who sent it to me, but. Got to be a close friend because
probably the same person that puts you on a spam list. No, I'm just.
It's got to be a close friend because that came shortly after some things went down, and it was. I do like the message, "Chase the vision, not the money," and that's pretty much what we do. And maybe it's not the best. I said that before, but yeah. Then I got my in and out. Oh, it's not on screen right now. Wait, let me move it. I just got to move my face. Got my In-N-Out shoe box. That was a gift.
Is that a burger joint? What is?
You don't know what In-N-Out is?
I don't even. Never mind. I don't even know why I said that. I don't even want to open up that can.
Got my Christmas beer stein. That was a gift. Yeah, if you send me stuff, it will go back here. except for its food because I'll eat it. Like all the
What
snacks I get.
what do I need to send? Oh gosh, I don't know.
You can just burn that.
What?
If you send me Chief stuff, I'll put it back there with Raider stickers on it.
Oh, I was waiting.
Oh man, hey, we got Arrowhead West over there, so.
I got my little bobblehead from Bascoyo.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I need to send Rochelle a couple of those too. She needs some.
Some bobbleheads.
I got a couple of them. Yeah.
Our 10,000 from Shopify. Our best first time boost from Transworld. And the SoCal Mini 23. I don't know why we got it. I made the trophies and then they gave me one. So, but I don't know if there was a real reason for it. But yeah, so I got my
the presenter
2023 trophy.
Yeah.
It doesn't say why, so I forgot. It just says SoCal Mini on it. But yeah.
I want to talk about Christmas minis real quick.
Okay.
I know we're over an hour. I'll try to make this quick. And it just
I'll go first, so she doesn't have to just stand here and watch us.
You want to stay? You want to go?
Bye, you can go. You go for it.
No.
All right, bye guys.
Bye. Let's see yet.
Yes, minis.
I just wanted to bring up the minis real quick for those that are the coordinators for it, or going to start sending emails. I just happened to open the email and I saw one come in from Larry. So, but have those, the sooner they get those emails to us, projected numbers of what they might have makes it easier on us to get stuff out. So we're not next day airing stuff out. So.
Yeah. Next day airing stuff is not really the greatest, but I've done it.
We've done it. It's
but we're all about supporting the community. So if you're doing an event that supports the community, we will send you our mystery bags. One rule we have with our mystery bags, the biggest rule is don't open them. Just give them out. And that way the person that wins them could see what they win. We do that for multiple reasons. We have been told in the past, probably like 4 years ago now, it's been a while. We sent stuff to a mini. Everything didn't get given away. So we felt that was a little messed up. So now nobody could see what it is. So they don't know if it's a good thing they want to keep or not. So that way it's all there. Because we're doing it for the community, not to, like, yes, we want to help support the events, but we don't want the events to sell what we're giving them. We don't want them to do anything weird with them. We just want to give stuff. And ideally, I would love our stuff going to the people that need it the most, probably either the newer people or the smallest displays. So if you're selling raffle tickets to win prizes, the guy with the most raffle tickets usually wins, but he's also probably the guy that doesn't really need the prize. Yeah. So that's kind of why we do it this way. It kind of frowns upon selling raffle tickets because, in some cases they might get a black bag with mac and cheese in it, which somebody who paid for raffle tickets might be upset about that. So everything's in black bags. We just do it that way. It's just the easiest because I want to help the community. I don't need you to put what I gave you on display and advertise me. I'm just doing stuff for the community, and that's what we're doing it for. So we're not going to be like, oh, here's the stuff we send us. Make sure you promote the hell out of what we given away. We're just giving you stuff in black bags, give it to the people, and everybody be happy.
They can open it in front of everybody and see what they got.
And on that note, if you're ever at an event and they give you raffle prizes from Mattos Designs and they do not come in a black bag, shoot us an email. Let us know. In that same breath, the conversation right there, if you were going to Arizona, I think it's this weekend coming up.
The 8th, I believe. March 8th?
Yeah, there's a class.
Maybe I'm wrong.
The person presenting it I threw in a bunch of extra ones in there without black bags to give away or whatnot to anybody in that class that might be interested in them, and like have people play with them, take them home, whatever. Those will not be in the black bags. That's a different thing. Like if you get something in a class, it's usually a little bit different than a raffle prize. So just the raffle prize, just make sure they're in black bags and let us know if they're not, because we kind of need to know those things, because that will influence how much stuff that event maybe gets the next year. And trust me, sometimes we do a lot of stuff. What's up, Brian? I started here about my hat and how flat it is, and it's perfect. Funny thing is I haven't even sent him a message that I got it, because I literally found the box yesterday and opened it and was like, oh, I'm wearing this on the podcast. So, but like, this is my thank you to Brian, the official librarian of the Great Christmas Light Fight. I think there's a better term for that, but I can't. I knew it this morning when I was like, oh, I'm going to call Brian that, but I can't remember. Oh, the historian. That's what he is. He's the Christmas Light Fight historian. Like, he knows everything about everything. He's great. We probably will have him on here. Hey, look, we were supposed to put a social media link in there, and we didn't on our little banner going across the bottom. Yeah, so we're still trying, and we're learning this new software.
Well, that's why I saw that come in, so I just figured I'd pop it up for you. So
yeah, very cool.
Awesome.
I think that's everything, right, Brian?
I think that is. My coffee tank is full, so I'm ready to go.
So Brian's going to the bathroom.
Hey, I spelled my name with a I, Brian. And no, you can keep that hat. I don't need it. I heard they tore up the city when y'all won, but
oh yeah, I forgot. Brian's a big
yeah. Well, look at the time. So thanks for joining.
Brian's like over this. It's like boy, fun times. All right, well, I hope everybody liked the first episode back. We're still getting things figuring out how we want to do stuff, but yeah, I think we're doing good. Next week we'll have a couple more employees on. We're gonna have Elijah the warehouse guy and maybe some other, maybe more well-known light fight guys, or not light fight, Mattos guys. We don't have a lot of light fight employees, just me and Brian technically, because he helped a lot. And maybe we'll go into a little bit, it's been like 5 years since we've talked about us. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about us too. Maybe answer our own questions next week after we talk to Elijah. What do you think, Brian?
Yeah, sounds good. I like it. We need to start. It's not going to be an infomercial every time. We just got a lot of stuff we want to catch up on, and we will get back to having guests on and talking about their displays, because everybody loves to talk about their displays. So we want to hear it. But yeah, we will definitely get that going.
Yeah. And I'm sorry if this came off as an infomercial, but this is
didn't mean to.
Yeah, this is me talking about my display. I just happen to use everything I make. So, sorry, not sorry. All right. Okay, guys, thank you for watching. Hopefully you watched an hour and 9 minute long video, but if not, maybe you saw this part. So thanks.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys.
See ya.
Later.